The civil servants in the Home Office are extremely busy these days. But are they busy tackling crime? Are they busy protecting our borders? Oh no, they are busy changing their genders on a regular basis. We have new guidelines issued by the Home Office and top civil servants, issuing warnings and guidelines to allow you to look after your fellow civil servants in the Home Office, because there are enough civil servants and bureaucrats who are now waking up every morning, going to the office or working on their laptops from home, who are worried about their genders on the day. And you have to keep up with that chaos. So, the Home Office's new Inclusion and Diversity Pillars guidelines are now urging for more protection for civil servants whose gender may vary regularly, almost on a daily basis or maybe weekly basis. So I don't know. So not only they created these guidelines, the diversity stuff, which was supposed to be for representation, right? And then they went for more creation of diversity rather than just representing. And then it came about protection. It's like a protection racket at this point. And now they're saying if you are communicating with civil servants who don't know what their gender is on the day or any day, you have to keep up to date. So what? Are you going to send a daily memo to people about people's pronouns on a regular basis? So in case you don't, if you happen to send out the wrong email to the wrong person with the wrong pronouns, you might get sued because they have legal protection now. The Home Office described its diversity plans as going beyond compliance with the Equality Act of 2010 to include gender identity and expression. The Equality Act already protects people from being discriminated against because of their age, disability, gender, marriage, civil partnership, pregnancy, and everything else, right? Religion, belief. But it's not enough for them. We literally already have the rule of law that you can't discriminate against people. For example, you can't really fire someone based on their skin color, or you can't hire somebody else although they use that as well in the name of positive discrimination. You can discriminate against white men, apparently, and white people in general. So that already goes against the Equalities Act. But they are quite open about the fact that their new guidelines go beyond that and beyond compliance. You have to follow the order. You cannot question it. This is lunacy. It's ludicrous, but it is also the beginning of tyranny. If you don't challenge it now, it's going to happen. You're going to wake up one day and be like, do you remember when we were living in the free democratic Britannia? Oh, that's gone away. I feel like my time machine has worked. I'm now back in 1960s Russia. This is bad stuff. Look at this. This report came out from BMJ showing that people who changed their genders, and those who were diagnosed with dysphoria, gender dysphoria, are now getting younger, 5 years younger. And they're trying to use this stat to tell us that somehow human evolution means that the more modern humans have more gender dysphoria when they're younger. You can see the stats between 2017 and 2021. The median and mean average age, which was about 31 and a half. And the latest is about 24, the median. So this is the average, by the way. But the reality of the situation, we know exactly what's going on. We have talked about this repeatedly on this channel and across the new alternative media channels, where when you're going to schools and universities and brainwashing a lot of kids who don't really have gender dysphoria, and for example, hypothetically, there are some younger kids, younger boys, who are just camp, and they just go and tell them, well, because you're acting this way, you're basically a girl. And that's how they start. In the name of representation and diversity, they start to promote. And now they're telling a lot of people, you have to change your gender. Why do you think there's so many people now, as they grew up in their 20s, are now reversing that decision? What happened to that conviction that they had? It's because there was no conviction. Because they were told. So this stat is actually showing that the brainwashing of the liberal left has been working for them. But there is now a backlash. The backlash has already started. Anyway, this is what they say. Ask for people's pronouns. The Post is now telling that they've been sending out memos. They're telling civil servants to ask each other's pronouns, explaining that different non-binary people may use different pronouns, including they, them, and the new pronouns like Z0. The roadmap to inclusion is what it's called. The roadmap to inclusion is one of the several diversity plans in the Home Office. In May 2023, a few months ago, the department launched its race action plan, which aims to embed ethnic diversity within the Home Office. Okay, so we have Tim Lawton, the Tory MP, saying civil servants should not insert their own politics into official plans and communications. So you would think that the Home Office is under a lot of pressure from the public and the media because of the policing problems and the border problems and everything else. They would focus on that. No, they don't care. They want open borders, a lot of them. And the others are just being completely shut down if they want to actually do their work. The other problem we have is that in this country, we have a massive divide right now. It's not necessarily about class anymore. It's you got a demographic divide. So based on age and location. So the rural areas versus urban areas, and the age also plays a massive factor. So you got more traditional conservative-minded people in the outside of cities, and people in liberal cities are going extra liberal. The problem with this is that until now, as long as both sides ignored each other, the country was still running okay, pretty okay. But now, because the power, centralized power, is held in London, for example, when it comes to politics, so that's Whitehall and Parliament, both sides can't ignore each other anymore. People in the shires and the villages and towns and anywhere else that's not really a complete liberal area, urban area, they can't ignore the idiots, the liberal wokies, because the liberal wokies are making decisions for the rest of the country. They are the reason that the borders are not being secured. They are the reason that the police are going woke. And to people who are living in small towns and villages, they're saying, well, even if I sit here and never visit London, because I don't like Londoners, the decisions from those cities are now affecting my life. So what do I do? So this is what's been different compared to the 19th century and 18th century, where as long as you were in your city, you want to be an intellectual, academic, liberal, and a thinker, don't really go to the farms, that's fine. Both sides ignore each other, you still live your life. Not anymore, because there's a complete push, a takeover from the liberal mindset in the country. Let me know your thoughts about this thesis. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.